Alright, everybody, welcome to MMS Live from Talladega. Gary Jenkins up here in the booth bringing the action tonight. Right now, Richard Elliott, Steve Sizemore, Gordon Spain, Michael Barksdale, and Zachariah Carledge. Your top five. James Warren right now holds on to the sixth spot. Teams of two on action for tonight. Unfortunately, only, 14 drivers is going to be good, regardless of the fact. So 14 drivers, what's going to be critical tonight is the pit stops. Tucker McClellan goes up seventh quickest. Danny Barnes across the line. 8:40 for Danny Barnes, good enough for eighth quickest. John Ward, 8:02, fourth quickest for Ward, ties Gordon Spain. Cameron Craighead, across the line, 8:29 for Craighead. That will be ninth quickest. No, not Danny Barnes outside the top 10. Right now, still to come at the make a qualify run, Kenneth and Joshua McCullough and Tim White. Well, track's dead at the moment. Warm up still to come tonight, so you can't talk to a couple drivers right now. Steve Sizemore, Gary James up here in broadcast booth. Got a copy, buddy?
I got you.
All right, now second quickest on the board. Paired with Cameron Craighead tonight. Where's the confidence level for the 08? Can we see Steve Sizemore possibly return to victory lane tonight?
I'm hoping so. I'm pretty confident after last week. Me and Kenny ran good. This is me and Craig had the first time running together, but I think we'll fare all right. I'm just going to see how it goes in the beginning. I might fall to the back. I did a big race earlier, so I'm a little tired.
I don't blame you, buddy. I won't keep you long because we're about out of time for qualifying. So best of luck to you tonight. Hopefully when it's all said and done, we'll talk to you in victory lane at the end of this thing.
Sounds good, brother. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. All right, now Steve Sizemore second quickest. He'll be rolling off second. Richard Elliott on pole for tonight. As warm-ups begin. Right now we're going to see if anybody takes advantage of the warm-ups. Well, never mind. Forget the warm-up. Jumping straight into it. Well, me and my 14 guys tonight will run through the starting lineup with the ticker. Richard Elliott, Steve Sizemore, Gordon Spain, John Ward, Sean Corbett, the top five. Michael Barksdale, Zachariah Carledge, James Warren, Cameron Craighead, Tucker McClellan, the top 10. Danny Barnes, Joshua David McCullough, and Tim White rounds out the 14 truck field for tonight. Up on onboard cameras for tonight. Just a quick preview of what we got in store. Richard Elliott starting on pole for tonight. John Ward rolling off fourth. Talladega Pros occupy the field tonight. Gordon Spain, Sean Corbett, Barksdale, Ward, obviously. However, the field is full of MMS as well. Richard Elliott, Steve Sizemore, Danny Barnes, of course, Joshua Kevin McCullough, as the field gets set for the start for tonight. I believe this will be delayed, Kevin McCullough in the pits. It will be. Since the start's delay, we'll ride on board with Richard Elliott just to watch when they fire. MMS is now underway. Steve Sizemore will lead in lap one. All right, now John Ward with the outside push from Michael Barksdale down the back straightaway. Ward, Barksdale, Waring, Craighead. Well, it looks like The 81 is Zachariah. Cartilage occupies the middle lane. Ward down to the bottom. Front of Sizemore, Elliott, Gordon Spain, Sean Corbett, Danny Barnes, Kevin McCullough, Tucker McClendon. The ones on the bottom, Tim White, Josh McCullough tried the outside lane. Nothing happened. It's down through the tri-oval. John Ward put his name on the board tonight. He'll lead a lap. We're now running on Ward down the back straightaway. Giving it 2x2 for the most part. Pit stops tonight, give or take, anywhere from 20 to 25 laps, somewhere in that ballpark. Now Barksdale trying to push Sizemore down the back straightaway. Barksdale bails eye line. More than likely just a chance to try to cool the motor off because it was already hot. Teams go as follows for tonight. Cameron Craighead, Steve Sizemore. Team 1, Joshua McCullough, Tim White. Team 2, Gordon Spain, Michael Barksdale. Team 3, Danny Barnes, Tucker McClendon. Team 4, got James Waring and Zachariah Garland, LB. Team 5, Sean Corbett, Richard Elliott. Team 6, and then, of course, the last team for tonight, Kevin McCullough, John Ward. Right now, Ward running in first, McCullough back to 12th. Top 5, Steve Sizemore swings out wide again, right back down to the bottom. The field already starting to single file up. More than likely already going to try to save a little bit of fuel. However, Craighead and about 2 other ones might want to favor the track position. Looks like Tim White, Michael Barksdale trying to get with Craighead, middle lane coming. Right now, another trudge team join up in the mix down there. We're in the outside lane, looks like Zachariah. Craighead, White, Zachariah, Barksdale, the drivers on the outside lane, make it 5. James Waring, jump sideline. Right now, down the back straightaway, Cameron Craighead challenging for the lead on John Ward. I don't think they're going to have the help that they think they have. Run that third lane, going to have to run the middle lane, try to side draft. Craighead with the lead momentarily. Well, I stand corrected. Cameron Craighead, top of the board. Here comes White at the line. Give it to Tim White. Tim White leads down the back straightaway. Zachariah wearing Barksdale, Danny Barnes, Steve Sizemore. Right by the outside lane as the field works to turn 3 and 4. Lap 9 about to be in the books. Biggest mover since the start of the race so far. Tim White up 12. Right now the biggest mover through the field. Elliott Sizemore, Spain all down 7 spots. Sarah Corbett down 6. And all this more than likely the fuel saving mode. Going into turn number 1. Nate and drivers already thinking about starting to save fuel the best they can. Try to stretch it only about anywhere from 20 to 25 laps, give or take. To the tri-oval. White going to try to take the lead back on the bottom lane. Zachariah going to pitch him down. White lets him in. Oh, James Ware sideways saves it. Yeah, but Barksdale, the biggest one who's going to lose out of this, going to lose all that track position again. Right now, top 5 out of the stands: Zachariah, Carlos, Cameron Craighead, James Ware, and Tim White, Danny Barnes. The field works down the back straightaway. Right now, pole setter Richard Elliott riding back into 8th position. Just because you see Elliott riding mid-pack don't mean that the 0-2 is out of it right now. I think it's MMS's MO ride. Just ride for the first half of this. Run safe. You'll keep the truck straight. Keep it in one piece. You know it is teams of 2. You still got to think that is the agenda for MMS going forward, the same for Dega Pros. Right now, 12 laps in the books, working lap 13. Joshua McCullough trying to make moves. Steve Sizemore down to the bottom of the racetrack. Right now, John Ward back to the top of the board. Joshua McCullough right now up 10 spots. Ken McCullough up 9. Well, forget what I said about MMS right now. Trying to save back and ride fuel. I believe now track position becoming more important as the green flag pit stops approach. Right now, Richard Elliott, Tucker McLennan, was on the outside lane. Corbett jumps out of line to help Elliott. McLennan and Craighead now jump up again. Right now the field's still intact for the most part. Right now just under a second from 1st to 14th. John Ward leads. Steele has led 9 laps so far tonight. Zachariah Carlin has led 4 laps. Steve Sizemore, Sean Corbett have left 4 or 1 lap respectively. Right now, still 2x2. Craighead, Sean Corbett, Richard Elliott trying to make a little bit of ground. Right now, as it stands, according to a couple of drivers, probably a two-stop race. Right now, first round pit stops should be coming up. Momentarily, we're for 20-25 laps. Oh, Cameron Craighead out of shape. Saves it. Big save for Cameron Craighead and Sean Corbett both. Right now, down back straightaway. That will completely kill any hope that the outside lane had. Right now, Michael Barksdale in this time. Barstow will be the first 8-lap team. Barstow down the way, 12-second pit stop. Here comes the remainder of the field. Warren McCullough and others. Craighead almost losing entering the pits otherwise. So far, so good for the field. Drivers taking tires some. Only John Ward winning the race off of pit road. The McCullough's in tow along with Craighead. Tucker McLennan, black flag. More likely either spinning out of the pits or an unsafe pit exit. One of the two. See if we can't go back and right there. Yep, that'll do it. So Tucker McLennan will have to come back in to serve that penalty. 30 to go. Right now, the 4-truck breakaway. John Ward, Kenneth McCullough, Craighead and Joshua McCullough, Steve Sizemore, Elliott Spain. Right now, further back, little 3-truck operation running here. Danny Barnes in the draft of them, so they're going to try to attempt to run down the top 4. Meanwhile, even further back. Well, it's soon going to be a 4-truck deal because they're going to come back in. Right now, the field practically spread out. Michael Barksdale to Gamble did not pay all for 00. Stuck by himself. With 28 to go, we're going to take a quick step away from. Oh, McCullough and Craighead come together. Scratch that. Well, as I was saying, we're going to take a quick step away from the action momentarily. You're watching MMS Live from Talladega. We will be right back. That live from Talladega, a couple of developing stories. Tim White slow on the back straightaway, as is Steve Sizemore. First, see what happened to Tim White. Well, him and Zachariah get out of shape and bam! Hard into the wall for Zachariah, or for Tim White. Next up, Steve Sizemore, initial Sizemore's machine. Oh, he got turned. No caution for either or. Him and Corner Spain got all sequence almost identically similar to Tim White and Zachariah. With 22 to go for Steve Sizemore and Tim White. Their night's practically dashed unless there's a caution. The same can be said for Tucker McLennan. But right now, through it all, halfway through this pit cycle, and we're going to see, we'll look at the PGR pit strategy report. Right now, everybody in the top 10 pitted on lap 20. And I have no doubts that we'll see them do the same thing again. Right now, as it stands, John Ward continuing to lead at Talladega. Tim White about to go another lap down. Well, Tim White's going to latch on to this deal, going to make it 5 trucks, so this will more or less doom the fate of the rest of the field. And right now, all Ward, Craig, Kennedy, and McCullough have to worry about now is nailing this final green flag pit stop. Tucker McLennan about to go a lap down as well. McLennan already going to come back in. Danny Barnes slow on the back. Barnes slow to come in. Danny Barnes with a meatball flag. Notice happened to Danny Barnes. Ah, the motor. Danny Barnes, the motor expires underneath the hood of the 7 machine. Good news is Danny able to get rolling. Bad news is he's going to lose at least a lap, if not more. Right now, Gordon Spain, Richard Elliott, Zachariah, James Waring, all in the pits this time. Perhaps a strategy play for these four. So it'll be interesting to see. Sizemore and Barksdale. Going around right now, Steve Sizemore 1 lap down. Barksdale back on the lead lap in 6th. Zachariah Carter's black flag. Man. We'll see what happens if it's an exit or... See what the issue is. More than likely if it's a clean pit stop. I don't see nothing wrong with it. Or likely speeding into pits. Regardless, 62 will have to come back in to serve the black flag. Right now the McCulloughs are kind of separated. Ken McCullough, meatball flag. What the hell is going on? Oh! That'll do it. Kevin Craig and McCullough coming together. Craig getting in the pits. McCullough gonna stay out one more time. And Cameron Craig had black flag of his own. Then there were two, John Ward, Joshua McCullough. 14 laps to go. Ward and McCullough has actually made their pit stop. Now, according to our data, Barksdale out on an 18-lap run, hoping for a caution. Right now, Cameron Craig had done for the night. I get word on an update with that in a minute. Right now, John Ward, Joshua McCullough leads with 13 laps to go. Michael Barksdale running third. Richard Elliott fourth. Gordon Spain right now running in fifth. They are 7.7 seconds off of Ward and McCullough both. James Waring running by himself right now, 27 seconds off and counting. Same can be said for Sean Corbett. However, he's hooked up with Zachariah Carlinch, who was actually 1 lap down after the pit road infraction. Had to make him come back down through pit road. Kenny McCullough back out onto the racetrack. However, the potential win gone right now for McCullough. Danny Barnes running in ninth after having engine issues that had to force him to take a fast repair. Tim White, an earlier incident, has forced him 1 lap down. Tucker McClellan lost the draft earlier. And right now, running 12th, Steve Sizemore. As Barksdale comes in, black flag for Barksdale on exit. So Steve Sizemore, Cameron Craighead have caught it at night with 12 laps to go. 11. Right now, Ward, Joshua McCullough 1 and 2. The gap has opened up to 8.3. So right now, what's up, bud? Right now, 9 to go for John Ward. Well, 7 to go for John Ward. And really, as long as him and McCullough stay there, they'll practically finish in the money. Barksdale back out onto a racetrack 2 laps down. Right now in front of the back through the field. So right now, Richard Elliott, Gordon Spain, 3rd and 4th. Right now, 3rd and 4th right now for Richard Elliott's team. Well, him and Sean Corbett right now, 3rd and 6th. Matter of fact, the teams as they stand right now, Joshua McCullough and Tim White. McCullough 2nd, White 10th, 1 lap down. Gordon Spain, Barksdale, right now they stand 4th and 12th. Danny Barnes, Tucker McLennan. McLennan 2 laps down. Danny Barnes 1 lap down. They are 10th and 11th. James wearing Zachariah. Carter's right now wearing 5th. Zachariah 8th. Corbin and Elliott. Well, again, 3rd and 6th. Then, of course, Kenneth McCullough, John Ward. That is 1st and 7th. Three to go. For John Ward, who has led 41 laps so far tonight. It really has been a dominant run for Ward. It will just go show how much the pit stops matter, and look how critical they were. For John Ward. We'll see the white flag. One more lap to go. Same at it now. Will Joshua McCullough try to take the win for himself or push Ward to the win? We'll have to wait and see. Well, off of turn 4 for the final time. John Ward puts on a clinic. Well, actually, hold on, across the line. Yeah, Ward's got him anyway. John Ward, the victory lane. Josh McCullough second. Gordon Spain rounds out the top three. Talladega Bros back to victory lane. John Ward, Joshua McCullough, Gordon Spain, Richard Elliott the top five. Sean Corbett the top five. James Ware, Kevin McCullough, Zachary Carlos, Jenny Barnes, Tim White, Tucker McClendon, Michael Barksdale, Steve Sizemore, Cameron Craighead. Your 14 drivers. For tonight, the unofficial results. So you can't get a word with John Ward. John Ward, welcome back to Victory Lane.
Hey, man, I tell you what, it's been a while. Right, there was a race earlier, I won that race, and I'm still out here doing burnouts with Josh. I'm loving it, man.
Take me through the night once again. Pit stops became the deciding factor tonight, I feel like. And then ultimately, minor incidents happening across the racetrack. Take me through the night for the 92.
Yeah, it was a wild race. I mean, I know there wasn't no yellows, but there was some wrecks that maybe one or two cars, and they couldn't really throw the yellow, and the pit stops really mixed it up. We had some good stops. The strategy was good on the stops. We did really good on our part. It was just pretty much just try to make good, clean pit stops there and help my teammate, which Kenny, he was my teammate, and he always does pretty good. So figured if we take care of our stuff and do what we do best is race good and hard. And he got caught up in a wreck and kind of went a lap down. I don't know if we're going to win anything. I think we're still in the running, but
I can't call it.
But yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah, hopefully we can win something there. He got a lap down, and maybe we got something out of that.
Well, buddy, a hell of a night. I won't keep you very long tonight, but I will ask you this: Bad Fast Ward back to Victory Lane. This kind of a relief for right now, temporary until the next one starts, or really, is this a weight off the shoulders for John Ward?
Man, it's been a while since I won. Like I said earlier, I won, and that was a big relief. And winning this one, I didn't even really actually thought I'd win because it was so mixed up and the field was everywhere, and I was kind of just riding behind my teammate. But at the end, I was like, no shit, I got to win. So that was good. I felt good, and it brings my momentum up, and it does make you feel better. And and I expect to get some momentum off this and do even better. Usually it comes in waves. So once you start winning a couple, usually you get a few more with it. So we'll see.
Well, buddy, a hell of a job tonight. Last question I got. Anybody want to thank friends, family, sponsors, etc. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I want to thank first off you for broadcasting, PGR for putting all the broadcast stuff together. Kenny for the race and the event. He always does a good job with putting in and getting the people who he wants to race and controlling the race and whatnot. Thank everybody from Dega Pros. I know it wasn't Dega Pros team race, but a few of them drivers were in here tonight. Just thank everybody for that. And everybody watching, Jim Bob, I love watching him, and I'm going to go back and watch this race for sure, and I'm sure it was a good one.
All right, but it was all said and done. John Ward returns to Victory Lane tonight in MMS. Appreciate your time, buddy. A hell of a job.
Thank you, Jim Bob.
Yes, sir. He's already took care of it. So you can't get Joshua McCullough. Joshua McCullough, Garrett Jenkins up here in broadcast booth. Got a copy, buddy?
I gotcha.
Well, was it really a plan to try to step out and try to steal the win for Ward, or was it pretty much just having to stay committed at that point for the 14? Take me through the night.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna make a move on John. I was worried because we did have an outside team payout for $30, so I was kind of worried. But I was told that my dad and John already had first position in the team, so I wasn't really worried about it and just sat in line. And surprisingly, me and Tim got second place in the team payouts. Good shit to Tim. He finished in 10th. And yeah, that's about it.
Buddy, once again, pit stops came down to the benefactor here. How difficult is it just to try to execute, trying to get on and off pit road? Because we saw a lot of black flags tonight, especially off the exit of pit road. What made it so challenging tonight?
You just got to make sure you don't speed and try to come out really fast. Make sure you got your tires off. And if you take 4 tires, that can screw you a lot. You'll lose the whole pack, and you just got to try to stay up front and be aggressive.
All right, but I ain't gonna keep you very long tonight. Last question I got for you: is there anybody want to thank friends, family, sponsors, etc.? The floor is yours.
Shout out to McCullough Motorsport. Shout out to you for doing the broadcast.
All right, buddy. When it was all said and done, Joshua McCullough will come home second tonight. Appreciate your time, buddy. Hell of a job.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Last but not least, Gordon Spain, Garrett Jenkins up here broadcast booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Been a while since we seen you, and you come back with a third place run. What more needed to be done? Whether it was pit road or really what more did you need to try to get the win tonight?
I guess mainly just lost a little. Yeah, I guess just lost a little bit of time on that first pit stop. The front group was able to walk away a little bit. And the car count in our second group, we just kept losing a little bit on them and couldn't ever get back to them. But I'll take a third.
Well, buddy, at the end of the day, I'll ask you.
Podium finish.
At the end of the day, I'll ask how, even with 4 cars, even with 1 or 2 more cars, how difficult is it to try to run down a pack, a 2 or 3 car pack that's 8 seconds ahead? How difficult is it, and really what needs to go into trying to shrink that gap?
Well, the one time we had 3 or 4 cars, they had 4 cars up there. So, and honestly, there was a couple cars couldn't quite keep it straight, and just couldn't get it rolling. And then we got knocked down to 2 cars, and they had 3 or 4 cars up in the front pack. So, just never worked for us to get back up there.
Well, buddy, after a long night, long day, I'll ask you this. Was it kind of the return that you wanted tonight, or really is this kind of the return that you had planned? Is pretty much what I'm trying to ask.
Hey, I'm happy with it. Podium finish. Top 3. I like wins, but staying consistent. I'd rather be consistent. So we can knock off these top 3 finishes, get closer to get some more wins, and we'll be back in victory lane.
All right, buddy. The last question I got for you: is there anybody you want to thank? Friends, family, sponsors, etc. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Kenny, MMS putting this on, you for broadcasting, PGR, my boys the Dagger Pros, everybody that makes this community what it is.
All right, buddy. When it was all said and done, Gordon Spain and his return to MMS tonight comes home third. Appreciate your time, buddy. A hell of a job.
Have a good night.
You too, buddy. Well, the final results unofficial at the moment. Though from what I can tell, they will stand. John Ward, Joshua McCullough, Gordon Spain, your podium finishers tonight. Ward and McCullough do get the money. First place in the teams. Richard Elliott, Sean Corbett, James Waring, Kevin McCullough, Zachary Cartler, Danny Barnes, Tim White, Tucker McClellan, Michael Barksdale, Steve Sizemore, Cameron Craighead. Rounds out the field for tonight. And with that being said, really, I ain't got another broadcast for PGR until we come back for MMS Live on Wednesday. And until then, I will see until then, everybody, have a good start to your week. And I'll see everybody Wednesday night for MMS. Until then, take it easy. Have a good one.